everybody, my name is Eric Hopkins and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're finding me for the very first time, please click that like and subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you get all the notifications about when I put up new content right here on this channel. So if you've seen any of my pro wrestling reviews here on the channel, and obviously if you look behind me, I've got an extensive collection of Funko Pops, and in particular right here on this wall is professional wrestling Funko Pops. So I thought I'd share with you guys one of my favorite Funko Pops that I have that I got not too long back, because it's actually kind of a new release, really. And I thought I'd go over a little bit about who this person is. And of course, he is the late, great Eddie Guerrero here. Lie, cheat, and steal. Latino Heat, Odele Vato, Mamacita. You know, so that's a horrible impersonation, so forgive me. But Eddie Guerrero performed in Mexico and Japan for several major professional wrestling promotions, and in the United States performed for Extreme Championship Wrestling, World Championship Wrestling, WCW, and most notably WWF Entertainment. Guerrero's gimmick was that of Latino Heat, a crafty, resourceful wrestler who would do anything to win a match. His catchphrase became, "I lie, I cheat, I steal," and was used in one of his entrance themes. He partly used this phrase in the title of his 2005 autobiography, Cheating Death, Stealing Life. Despite being a heel for most of his career, he was popular in and out of the ring and was at the peak of his career as a face during 2003-2005, becoming the top wrestler on the Smackdown brand in 2004. He experienced various substance abuse problems throughout his life, though, including alcoholism and addiction to painkillers. These real-life issues were sometimes incorporated even into his storylines. Jeff Hardy kind of has the same sort of deal. Guerrero spent his early career wrestling in Mexican promotions and forming a popular tag team with Art Barr. After the death of Barr, Guerrero received his first mainstream exposure in the United States in 1995 by joining ECW and winning the ECW World Television Championship. Later that year, Guerrero moved to WCW, where he became WCW United States Champion and WCW Cruiserweight Champion, and also led the Latino World Order. He left WCW in 2000 after the company failed to elevate him to a main event spot. Big mistake on WCW's part, in my opinion. He moved to WWF with his WCW colleagues Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, and Perry Saturn, who formed a group called the Radicals. Guerrero went on to win the WWF European Championship and WWF Intercontinental Championship before he was released in 2001 due to addiction issues. After being rehired in 2002, he formed Los Guerreros with his nephew Chavo, winning the WWE Tag Team Championship and established himself on the SmackDown brand. He climbed to main event status and won the WWE Championship, his one and only World Championship, at No Way Out 2004 when he pinned Brock Lesnar. He lost the title later that year but remained a popular main eventer until his death on November 13th, 2005. Widely regarded as one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, Guerrero left an impact and legacy on the professional wrestling industry as one of the most beloved performers of his generation and an inspiration to many future professional wrestlers. So yeah, Eddie Guerrero was great. There's no doubt about that. And one of the reasons I love this Funko Pop is because it has his it has a WrestleMania 20 pin that goes with it. And for those of you who don't know, WrestleMania 20 is the year that he defended the one and only championship he won about a month prior, and he was able to defend that title against Kurt Angle. He lying and cheating and stealing with the shoe that came off that was untied, and he was able to get the quick roll-up on Kurt Angle in that match. Great match, by the way. One of the highlights of WrestleMania 20, to be honest. WrestleMania 20 was kind of not considered one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time, and it's also considered to be a WrestleMania that WWE doesn't want to talk about much anymore, because in the main event, his friend and good buddy Chris Benoit also captured the World Heavyweight Championship for the first time in his career. And of course, with everything that happened with Chris Benoit, with his wife and his child, obviously WWE doesn't want to mention him anymore. Understandably so, I get that. But regardless of what Chris did at the end of his life, his career as a professional wrestler was bar none. He should be celebrated for his wrestling career, I think. Obviously, there's no, defending what he did or anything like that. But obviously, it's a guy who's never going to, see the Hall of Fame or anything like that because of that action. But no one can deny the great wrestler that he was. And of course, the end of WrestleMania 20 had Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit under all the confetti, both world champions hugging each other. It was a great moment that, what we should never forget, really. But Eddie Guerrero, was always fun to watch. In WCW, he had some of the greatest matches in the cruiserweight division and things like that. I mean, with Eddie or with Rey Mysterio and many others as well. Always so fast, always so agile, and and of course over the years he did get bigger and bulked up a bit. I think he, there might have been some people who wanted to say he might have taken steroids to get to that point. Which, I mean, it's pro wrestling. Most people have done it at some point or another. Not saying it's right for sure, but obviously his years of drug abuse and addictions and things like that, substance problems, it seemed to have taken a toll on him. He died at the young age of 38 years old from a sudden heart attack, I believe it was. It was just in his hotel room, and I believe his nephew Chavo was the one who found him, I believe. And of course, that a lot of people believe that led to Chris Benoit's downfall, as he was the close friend of Eddie, and of course, that led to him, taking the path that he ended up taking. Very, very sad stuff in real life. But as a performer, though, it was bar none one of the greatest alive. And his championship win against Brock Lesnar, I remember that moment. It was a great moment and one of the highlights of WWE. A moment that doesn't get celebrated as nearly enough as it should be in the history books, for sure. But there's no doubt about it. And this Funko Pop is great because obviously the one thing I like Funkos for is because they go to a lot of detail. I know they're just little plastic figures, but here's at the same time they got everything from his blonde highlights in his hair, the mustache and the goatee and everything, and of course the design on his trunks, the gold boots with the black designs, which is exactly what he wore. They do a good job of with the art when it comes to this stuff, and the design on the tights, and of course the Latino across the backside. It's definitely, that's one thing I like about these little figures. They're not too expensive. They're very cheap to own, and of course they come with a lot of great details. And if you find one to something that's touched you over the course of your life, and in my case, professional wrestling has been with me since I was 10 years old, and it's something that I'll always have in my life. So there's nothing better than to have a Funko Pop that kind of just brings out the kid in you a little bit, and that's one of the reasons I like to collect them. So I really very much enjoy this Eddie Guerrero Funko Pop. But the real question here is, guys, what do you guys think about this Eddie Guerrero Funko Pop? What did you think about Eddie Guerrero as a person, in his career? Obviously one of the best to ever do it in this business. So definitely let me know. Comment down below, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you get all the notifications about when I put up new content right here on this channel. And until my next video, guys, take care. We about to target.